Hello there. We've got something a little bit different for you and very exciting. We've been asked to join in with the 40 years of Warhammer celebration. And for this, we've decided to paint a Sternguard veteran in a retro color scheme. We've managed to track down a collection of Rogue Trader era Space Marine color schemes that are over 30 years old. These are really cool, so let's take a look at them now. Check out all of those camouflage patterns. Really bright and bold and totally different from how we tend to paint our Space Marines today. The scheme for the Salamanders really does stand out for us. We're so used to seeing them in their imposing dark green armor, and this is something really different. We're going to have a crack at painting this scheme using our Sternguard veterans. The paints we'll be using are on screen now. We also have a list of the additional equipment we've used, but you can use whatever brushes you feel most comfortable with. If you're new to painting or want to brush up on your skills, you can check out the Citadel Color Painting Essentials videos to learn all about our paints and painting techniques. We've undercoated our model with Grey Seer to give us that nice light base coat to work from. Right, let's get painting. So the first thing that we're going to do is paint the power armor with Bad Moon Yellow straight from the pot. This paint is fantastic for what we want to do, as it is a bright yellow and covers over our Grey Seer base really nicely. This will set us up for our scheme. When applying contrast, remember to load the brush up and paint each area one section at a time. This will allow the paint to cover the area nicely, as well as let you soak up any excess before it starts to dry. This will remove the chance of leaving stains and texturing. With that stage complete, our yellow armor looks awesome and really ties in with that Rogue Trader era vibrancy. If we look at the artwork again, we can notice that the yellow armor has an orange hue to it. So in order to replicate this, we'll be using Kasandora Yellow shade paint in two ways. Firstly, we'll mix it with Lahmian Medium and glaze it over any areas where shadow would naturally fall. So that will be towards the bottom areas of the leg armor, sides of the chest plate, and towards the bottom of the shoulder armor. In order to do this, we'll use a 3:1 ratio of Lahmian Medium to Kasandora Yellow. Once this is done, we'll then do a normal recess shade all around the armor using Kasandora Yellow straight from the pot. Take your time when doing this and try to keep the paint tight into the recesses. And there we go. Our orange hue has been established and really ties in with the artwork. It's time to do the really fun bits of this retro salamander armor. We're going to do the black armor panels and camouflage pattern. For this, we'll be using Abaddon Black and a medium layer brush. Firstly, we're going to pick out the chest armor, shoulder trim, backpack, and power fist. Take your time doing this. It's worth it to be slower and focus on being neat here, as it will reduce the need to tidy up later on. If you do make a mistake, however, just tidy back up with Grey Seer and Bad Moon Yellow. Once that is done, we're now going to start doing the black camouflage pattern. A little tip here is to very lightly map out the outline of the pattern first, before then going back to colour it in. We're going to approach painting the camouflage by doing one area of the model at a time, fully mapping out that section and then painting it before moving on to the next. This will allow us to judge and see how much more or less we need to add across the entire model. If we look at the artwork, we'll notice that there are no sharp lines. It's more natural and fluid looking. So we're going to copy this as well, just adding slight bumps and curves when we're making our way around the armor panels. And with that black camouflage picked out, our retro Salamander Sternguard veteran looks awesome. Now to add some highlights. For our first highlight, we'll be focusing on the yellow armor. For this, we'll be using Dawn Yellow and edge highlighting all of the armor panels. Take your time when doing this, using the edge of your brush and light pressure while holding it to gently glide over the edges. This will help to keep your lines nice and consistent, while also reducing the chance of making spills and blotches. The more you practice this technique, the better you'll get, so don't be discouraged if it's not working straight away. Just keep at it and you'll develop muscle memory with this technique in no time at all. We're going to do one highlight on the yellow armor here because Dawn Yellow is so bright and pigmented that it works perfectly over the Bad Moon Yellow base. We won't be painting over any areas where the black camouflage pattern hits an edge either. We'll be doing that later. Okay, that's our first highlight done. Now to do the black areas. We're going to give our black a slight blue tone highlight because it will work nicely with the yellow armor. We're going to do a two-step highlight process here, and for our first paint we'll be using Thunderhawk Blue. Remember to thin out your paint with a little water before applying it onto the armor, and we're going to be using a small layer brush as well. Once you're done highlighting the black armor panels and Power Fist, then make your way around the model looking for wherever the camouflage pattern meets the edge of the armor, and then just highlight that edge. With that step complete, we just have one more paint to go. For our last paint, we'll use Fenrisian Grey to make the black highlight pop out. When doing a second stage edge highlight, we are aiming to paint within the lines of the first stage so that we can get the effect of our layers working together to give the overall highlight more definition. Make your way around the black sections applying the second stage highlight, and remember to take your time and try to be as precise as you can. However, if you do make a mistake, don't worry, just tidy back up with the previous stages. The black areas are fully highlighted and look awesome. This has really tied all of the armor together nicely. And there we go. Our Rogue Trader era Salamander Sternguard veteran is ready to lead his chapter to glory. Vulcan lives! For the purposes of this video, we have painted the other areas of our retro Salamander up to completion. And when you compare the finished Mini to the current Salamander scheme, we can really see how far Warhammer has come in 40 years. We hope that you have taken some inspiration here when it comes to painting your chosen chapters in alternative schemes. For more tutorials, tips and tricks, you can head to your local Warhammer store where our amazing staff will be more than happy to help. Or you can go check out citadelcolor.com. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye!